Hi, this is Mark Laughlin speaking for the Ambidextrous Gunfighter. A few episodes back, we had an issue with our KelTec RDB where the barrel extension came loose. Now, I was actually gonna just fix it myself. I mean, to me, sending it in for repair for something like that seems about like, well, thinking, well, I need to change the gas settings, so I'll send it into KelTec to change the gas settings. Kind of almost borderline that stupid to send it in for repair. But I decided, for the sake of, you know, kind of as a video evaluating KelTec customer service and warranty repair, okay, I'll send the barrel in. Now, I was thinking I would just, you know, tighten it down myself, tighten the lock nut down, put maybe a little bit of high temperature red Loctite on it just to make sure, and snug that light tight as best as I could with the spanner tool that I have. But with insistence from KelTec support and for the purpose of documenting the warranty process on this video, I sent it in. I initially submitted a request via the KelTec online form, and the first response was kind of slow to come. It took almost 10 days before I got a response, and it's probable that if I just made a phone call would have expedited things a bit. But once I did get an email, the responses to my questions were quick, and all my questions were answered in one day. For example, I asked about torque settings for that lock nut on the barrel extension. They said that I need to send it in because they had a special jig to make sure it was all lined up right. Well, I asked about purchasing a jig. No jig was available for sale, and actually I don't think one is necessary. I asked about buying a complete barrel assembly, and those aren't available either. So that was a little bit surprising. Anyway, they kind of wanted me to send the whole rifle in, the whole thing. But they ultimately granted me permission to send in just the barrel assembly. Thereby, I was able to avoid dealing with an FFL, especially if I was going to be out of state when it came back. So I shipped the barrel to KelTec via USPS, and it arrived in their hands in 3 days. From there, I received email notices for each step of the process. For example, I got an email notice when a work order was created, and then another email when the work was begun, and then another email when the work was completed, and then finally an email when the barrel assembly was shipped back to me along with a tracking number. It shipped back to me on November 6th, and then just kind of disappeared. Our USPS system, United States Postal Service system, for a bit. At one point, actually the online tracking for USPS actually went down. But after 11 days, I did finally get the tracking system kind of came back to life, and I got a notification that the package would be late. So anyway, it ended up arriving 13 days after it shipped. So yeah, if probably want to ship these things, depending on your area, maybe it's just here in Wyoming, but maybe you want to ship or at least have it returned to you via UPS or FedEx. Because for here in Wyoming, this isn't the first package this year we've had that's been really slow. I guess it's related to the whole COVID-19 thing. So in the interim, while my RDB was out of commission, it was kind of nice to spend some time with the BCM AR-15, my BCM Recce. Yes, it is a very, very nice example of that platform, of the AR-15 platform, or the Stoner design. But it was also rather shocking to go back to that long overall length, the long muzzle, the heavy weight out at the end of the muzzle after becoming accustomed to the short overall length, and with the weight being close to the body, it feels even lighter than it is. Anyway, the AR-15 doing shoulder transitions, it felt just after how smoothly they are on the RDB, the AR-15 felt really awkward doing shoulder transitions compared to the RDB. and the RDB just handles so much better than the AR-15. So to have the RDB back is really just awesome, to feel how well this thing handles compared to the AR-15. As I've said in previous review videos, the RDB and the MDR from Desert Tech make the AR feel like a relic. It's really comparable to the difference between the M1 Garand and the M1903. It's pretty significant. That is from the ambidextrous gunfighter perspective. That is being ambidextrous and doing the shoulder transitions. So anyway, got her back, did some test firing, got her, made sure that the optic was sighted, and when I remounted it, I did have to drop it down a couple of minutes of angle, and shot some AQTs, and it's worked 100%. Only fired 40 rounds, so I mean, it's not a huge test, but it function checks and seems to be fine. I mean, really, to call this a warranty repair, like I said, is really kind of stretching it. It's really, next time if it ever happens again that barrel extension comes loose, I will actually tighten it up myself. Because what I found was, when I sent it, before I sent it in, I estimated that where the pinpoints are that the barrel mounts into these removable pins for takedown, I figured the platform for those would all need to set flat on a table. And when I got it back, that in fact is the case. So I figure I can use a table, a nice smooth flat table, as a jig to make sure that it's all lined up. Then I think as far as like head spacing, as long as you don't unthread it, or at least if you count the number of unthreads you do and repeat it back in there, I think you'll be fine, because you really don't have a lot of fine adjustment on doing the head spacing, because you do have to go a one whole complete turn in order to get the bottom of that takedown pin hole back down flat on the table, so to speak. So if it happens again, I'll just put some high temperature red Loctite, torque the lock nut down on the barrel extension, and I'm going to call it good. I'm not sending it in again. But anyway, it was nice to do a quick test. Like I said, the communications, once it got going with KelTec, was excellent, and their turnaround time, once they got it, was really quick. Turnaround time for United States Postal Service, not so quick, but hey, we got it back in one piece. The box did look, or the packaging did look a little bit rough during its transit, but there was nothing was damaged, and I mean, it's a pretty tough, robust assembly. So I mean, you'd really have to abuse it to damage the barrel assembly. Anyway, this is Mark Laughlin speaking for the Ambidextrous Gunfighter. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.